Okay, so this one is gonna be on how to be able to download and install Linux Mint into VirtualBox. So the first thing you want to do, of course, is you want to have VirtualBox already installed. Deluge is not required, but I would definitely suggest using something like Deluge because you want to go ahead and download it as an ISO torrent. If you download just the ISO, you're gonna be waiting for it to download for like I don't know how many hours, but if you use a torrent, then it'll probably take about 30 minutes or 40 minutes, depending on the internet speed and whatnot. Definitely Deluge I found to be the best one. It's easy to use, it's open source, and it's available for just about every platform. So that's it. That's all you need. Next thing I would recommend to get the ISO, basically for Linux Mint, go to linuxtracker.org. And I've used this website for years and years and years. They're very reliable as far as the ISOs. If you go to torrents and then you search for Linux Mint, you should be able to. In here, you can type in Mint or just type in Linux Mint and then click on search, and it's gonna give you the versions that are available. I'm just gonna go ahead and get the ISO, not the whole pack, because those are pretty big in size. So I'm just gonna go with the XFCE minimal one. I think it's this one here, the XFCE 19.1 beta version. Size is less than 2 GB, so that's good. Okay, and all you would do to download it basically is you want to go ahead and click on it, and in here you just click on the link and click on download torrent file now, and it'll go ahead and open up with your torrent manager. So now the downloading process will take a long time, even if you're using a torrent manager, because the size of them are big. It's like this one's almost 2 GB, so just be aware of that. And basically, once you have downloaded the ISO, you want to go ahead and open up VirtualBox. And in here, all you want to do is go ahead and create a new one. And we're going to go ahead and name it Linux Mint 19.1. You can name it whatever, Mint, or however you want to name it, that's fine. And it'll go ahead and recognize that it's a Linux. Ubuntu 64-bit is fine as long as you downloaded the 64-bit. So you got to be aware of that. If you downloaded a 32-bit, then you want to go ahead and change it to 32. So click next, and then after that, 1024 is fine. But actually, 1024 should be more than enough. And hard disk, we're gonna go ahead and create one. VDI is fine. Dynamically allocate, I always recommend that. So click on next, and then in here we're gonna go ahead and just give it 10 GBs of hard disk space. That's more than enough. And click on create. Okay, and that's it. And then after that, what you want to do now is go to settings, and within the settings you want to go to, first of all, let's go ahead and look at a couple things here. As far as system, floppy, you never require it anymore, so you can just uncheck and drop it. Processor, if you have more than processor, you can give it more. So I'm going to give it 2. Enable PAE is fine. This one here, enable VT, we can also do that. Acceleration, we'll go ahead and leave it by default. As far as display, I think these are fine. We can enable the 3D acceleration if you want. Graphics controller should be fine by default. Recording, if you want to record whatever you're doing, you can enable that. Remote display, if you want to mess around with that. Storage is the most important thing. This is where we're going to go ahead and add the ISO. One thing I would recommend is to create a second one because you want to go ahead and install the extension pack. But you can always do that later on if you want. So for right now, we're just going to go ahead and locate the ISO. So just go ahead and look at where it is. So I'm just going to choose a disk file, and we're going to go to downloads, and this one is the one. So click on open. There we go. It's ready. Okay, and that's it. Then after that, we can check the audio. If you want to enable audio, more than likely you do, go ahead and leave that. Network, if you want a NAT or if you want a bridge adapter. Under advanced, we can leave this as is. Click OK and then click Start. And this should go ahead and launch VirtualBox, and it'll go ahead and create an instance. Okay. There we go. So we can click on enter. There we go. So now to be able to install it, you just click on install. If you want to go ahead and use it, it's a um, live ISO, I guess. You can also use it. By default, you should already have the internet ready to go. So if we click on Firefox, then we go to any website. Okay, there we go. So we can use it as a live ISO or a live system. I think it's called. I forgot already, but I think it's called a live system. And this is useful, like if you want to like search and do things, but you don't want it to get traced. Basically, a live system only is there, as you're using it. Once it shuts down, that's it. Everything is gone, erased for good, nothing left. Um, but let's go ahead and install it. So to be able to install it, go ahead and choose a language. So we're going to go with English, continue. Okay, then after that, it's going to be English, so continue. And then you need at least 10.7. Looks like now it's increased. So, okay, so we're going to go ahead and create a new one since the other one that I created was too small. So we're going to create a BDI, so hard disk. Okay, and we're just going to go ahead and in BDI, we're going to stick with that and dynamically. Okay, and we're just going to move it to 20 GBs and click on create. Okay, so now we have this one, and we're going to choose that. And what we'll do is we'll go ahead and erase the previous one since that one is too small. Okay, and now we're just going to go ahead and click on OK, and we're going to go ahead and restart it. Go ahead and click on continue and then continue again. Okay, install third parties. We're going to worry about that later on. We're just going to go ahead and click on continue. If you want to click on that, that's fine. It does take a little bit longer, so that's why I'm just going to click on continue. However, if on VirtualBox, you don't really need to worry too much about it. If you were installing on your actual system, you more than likely would want to go ahead and install this as you're installing Linux Mint. But for right now, we're just going to go ahead and click on continue. Okay, erase disk. Yeah, we want that. So we're going to go ahead and install now. And click on continue. Okay, the city where you want it, Chicago is fine as far as if you're Central Time, that should be it. If you're on a different time zone, you might want to look it up. So after you're ready, go ahead and click on continue. Here, the username, I'm just going to stick with the default and just leave that as it is. Password, just going to make this one very simple. Log in automatically since I don't really want the password to be asked every time. Okay, and that's it really. For this, it's just gonna go ahead and do its thing. Just let it. Should take maybe like hard to say on VirtualBox, but really depending on the internet, it should take maybe about anywhere from 5 to 20 minutes